Hi guys, it's Winter here. I totally have some cue cards ready. The last one of the last posts I made was saying that I was hoping to do another video, and I had a poll to see what you guys thought I should talk about in this next video. And there were three things that were listed equally, so I decided to want to talk about all of them. So the first option was for future fic ideas. And to be honest, I have quite a few things planned. I might not have time to write everything I would like to, but I do have these things planned. So my first and foremost thing is I want to complete the Triforce series. The Triforce series has completely taken over every creative thought I've had in the past while, and this is something I want to finish. It is something I, as a writer, feel like I need to accomplish before I can move on, I guess. This is something that means the world to me. It combines two of my favorite things at the moment. Well, Legend of Zelda is never going to be a thing for a moment for me. And I highly doubt Voltron will be either, but nonetheless, it combines two things that I'm very passionate about. And I want to write more one-shots. I have a tendency to have really big ideas that I'm not quite always able to finish. Like 3 Seconds, Dollar Rosa. So, I have a couple ideas for one-shots. They're pretty general. Like, I need to actually decide what I want to do for these. But I really want to write more cute, fluffy, like, overdone tropes. You know, like that coffee shop or... Why am I blanking on some others? Sharing a bed trope, like those sorts of things. Like I want to be able to write more things like that, especially for ships that I don't necessarily write about all the time. Like I want to get more back into the Miraculous Ladybug fandom, and I feel like this would be a good opportunity to do it with season 2, like in the works of airing. So I would like to do more of that. Another idea I have is angst, which I seem to really enjoy writing. So I think angst and fluff are my two main things, which I know are super general, but like I kind of need to wait for some sort of inspiration to strike for those kinds of things. Like sure, fluffy tropes are easy to write, but angst takes a little more dedication, I guess, to be able to put the characters into as much pain as possible. So we'll see how that goes. I also want to do more canon divergence. Especially in regards to Voltron, like there are so many paths that could be taken, especially since they introduce alternate realities. Like just with that alone, there are so many places that you could go with that. And oh my god, I am excited to write one-shots for that. I mean, I haven't really yet. I've started some fics that are like canon divergence. One was supposed to be a Secret Santa gift last year that I didn't end up having time to write or to finish, so I contacted the people I needed to contact very quickly and was like, hey, I don't have enough time for this. I think I gave them like 3 weeks notice. Like I definitely made sure they knew. And honestly, I would love to participate in a zine, however the hell you say that. I know they're more so for artists, not so much for writers, but how cool would it be to be asked to join a zine? Like, I know that will probably never happen for me, that I would be one of many who apply, but one day I would love to work on a zine with a bunch of other artists and amazing creative people. Who knows, that could happen to me in the future, but we'll have to see. And forever ago, probably right after I finished watching season 1 of Voltron, I was still very into the Miraculous Ladybug fandom, and I started planning a fic for a crossover between Voltron and Miraculous Ladybug, which obviously there's been a ton of artwork for it, and I finished like the first chapter planning, but I think this is going to be a hard crossover. I don't know if I would actually complete it. I was really looking into how Lance could be Adrian and Keith could be Marinette, but there are so many differences in their characters that it's going to be very interesting to accomplish. It's not quite as easy of a transition as it was for me to write Lance as Zelda and Keith as Link in my Breath of the Wildo. So I don't know if that one will ever come to life. I mean, someone else might be able to do it one day, but I don't think I'll be credited with that. I mean, if any of you guys want to see my work for what I planned for it, let me know and I will share it on here. But so far, I mean, it might launch, but I feel like I don't have enough inspiration for it. Like, it's gonna take a lot of work that I don't know if it'll go as seamlessly as the Triforce series has. Another thing you guys wanted to hear about was why I started writing in the first place. Honestly, I wanted to give Z-Link a better ending. Like, they deserve to have a proper ending rather than just Link went back in time and was a child again, or Zelda asking, what do you plan to do now? And then Link just opens his mouth. Where did my children go? But as much as that might have been my original path for why I started writing, officially, I guess writing has always been interesting to me. I've always loved reading novels. My mother and I, since it was just her and I a lot, we didn't often talk at the table when we were eating dinner. She often had a book in front of her. I've mastered the art of, from a young age, of propping a book against my plate at the dinner table and being able to eat while reading. Because that was what we did. It was my mom and I, every meal we ate at the table together, usually lunch and supper, she and I would be reading a book. When I got a little older and devices started becoming more and more prominent, she usually has her iPad in front of her as she's reading books on her iPad. Me, I'm usually on Tumblr reading fan fiction, but like, it's still something that has like come through for many, many years. Like, I think I've been reading at the table since I was like 6 or 7. Like, it's something that has definitely been a very prominent part of my life, and I kind of wish I could do more of it. Like, I don't do it for myself here at my own apartment, because a lot of times I'll be like sitting at my little table watching something, like, or actually have a chance to watch TV while I'm eating, because I don't want to eat at my laptop when I'm trying to like do other work. Like, it doesn't go well for me. I've spilled food on my laptop and I'm not a fan of cleaning that. So it'd be nice to like get into that again. But anyways, that was a very long way of saying that writing and the written word are very influential in my life. Like, I have read many a novel in my short 19 years of living, and I guess I wanted to contribute to that. Like, especially when I was introduced to fan fiction. Thank you, Rebecca. When I first joined Tumblr back when I was 15? Yeah, I think I was 15. Shortly after, maybe 7 months after I joined Tumblr or something. Like, Tumblr is very confusing to figure out at the start, so I kind of like left it for a while. But when I finally figured it out and got into the Supernatural fandom and started reading fan fiction, because Destiel, obviously, it was amazing to see what other people have created with words, like the worlds they were able to create and different ways of looking at characters. I found that incredibly interesting, and as much as I would love to be a fan artist, I draw disproportionate sick people. I haven't pursued drawing in years. I mean, I was given the art award at my elementary school, and I like pursued art all through high school, but when I got to university and like when I took my studio art course in my first year last year, it was a lot of work, and it wasn't something I enjoyed as much anymore. Like, believe me, art is still beautiful and I love doing it, but I would much rather write. I'd like to think I'm better at writing. Sure, I don't have as much practice in writing, but it has definitely become my hobby. It has become my thing. And really, I want to one day be a writer. I mean, I love editing. Like, it's definitely a path I'm going to take after university, but I also want to write. I want to publish my own book. I want to, honestly, even if it's only one book or one series, I would be happy. It would get me out there. And it's something that I have considered my goal after, like, working as an editor. Not like freelance, but like actual editor would be amazing, but gotta get my education first. And the final thing you guys voted for were fun or odd facts about me. I have like 8 things listed here, so here we go. My pinky toes are different sizes. I didn't notice this until I was like 10 or something, but my pinky toes are actually different sizes. The one my family has dubbed the nubbin. It is like, there's nothing to it. Like, there's nothing there. There's like no nail. Like, yeah, that's a fact. Another thing, I actually hate feet. Like, you know, if you're watching like some sort of like driving show where they like show how there's like pedal control, I'm like, please don't. I don't want to see that. I'm good. I can't whistle. I cannot whistle. Both my parents can. A ton of my friends can. My nephew can. My 4-year-old niece can whistle, and every time they do, I'm like, please, guys, stop. Just because one of us can't whistle doesn't mean that like everyone else here needs to whistle and have fun. Like, please stop. I love driving fast. I mean, yeah, cars are amazing to drive fast, obviously. I mean, I have a Grand Prix, and it loves to go. But I also really like driving Sea-Doos. My family has 2 250 horsepower Sea-Doos, and fuck are they fun. Even snowmobiles. I mean, we haven't had a snowmobile in a couple years because the year we sold it, there was no snow. And then the next 3 years, there was a shit ton of snow. And we were like, there hasn't been snow for 2 years, and all of a sudden we get slammed? Great. I am completely obsessed with horses, as some of you probably know. I mean, I'm actually kind of surprised I don't have anything horse-related in my username. I mean, horses have been a huge part of my life for my whole life. I started riding when I was 4. I did quit when I was 12, and I would love to get back into riding, but I just don't have time. I competed a little bit. It was mostly pleasure, but I thoroughly enjoyed show jumping, and I would love to get back into it one day. I also adore dragons. I have no idea how that came about. I think it started with Chris DeLacy's The Last Dragon book series. It's 7 books long, if you guys haven't read it. It is technically classified as children's books, but they are amazing. It's an amazing story. The 6th book went in a completely different direction that I'm still kind of confused about, but the entire series as a whole was really well thought out, and it was an amazing read. I think I've read the entire series all the way through like 3 times. Like, it is very good. Something that my mother likes to flaunt. My shoulders and neck are ridiculously ticklish. When I was younger, if anyone would even like touch the back of my neck, I would drop like a rock. Like, just completely duck out of the way, like I'd be on the floor. And then like scurrying away, like, no, don't touch my neck, don't touch me. Also, if there were 3 things that I could live off of comfortably, like nutrition aside, all that jazz, I would live off of popcorn, mints of any flavor, spearmint, peppermint, winter mint, any mint, Scotch mint, any mint, and Coca-Cola. I know these 2 things are especially not good for you, but I don't care. Coca-Cola is my writing tool, as I have some right here. It's something I have on me almost at all times. Either that or coffee. One of the 2. And my last thing that I wrote was, I used to be extremely anxious to talk on the phone. Which, honestly, considering my first real, like, paying job was to work at a phone-a-thon to call alumni and get money over the phone, like, what the fuck was I thinking? But I do have to say, it's really improved my communication skills. It's really improved my negotiation skills, considering my mother and I used to argue all the time. And, well, I think moving out was a big part of that. But since working at my 2 jobs, both calling alumni, I can honestly say that my negotiation skills have gone through the roof. As soon as she starts saying something that I don't agree with, I find that I switch into that work mode. And my mom's starting to get to the point where she'll kind of like cross her arms and like look up at me, and she's like, why are you using your work tone on me? It's like, if you stopped treating me like an idiot, then I wouldn't have to start treating you like a client, which never goes well. But yeah, those are 8 interesting facts or odd facts about me. But yeah, I hope you guys all like this video, and we're gonna see how this sounded. All right. Bye.